everyone for joining us. Today we are talking with Jennifer, who wishes she could speak French. She's half French and doesn't speak a lick of it. She was once attacked by a lobster while trying to eat it and can burn calories by being sarcastic. She would love to live in Scotland or Montana, and her travel advice is to always carry travel snacks, which food always have snacks. I love it. So today she's going to share about Montana. So welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah, welcome. So we're going to start our 7-minute timer, Jennifer. And so you can start just by sharing a little bit about what drew you to Montana, why Montana, and what's so special about it for you.
Well, I read some clean Western romance books that actually take place in Montana, and it sounded so exciting. It was like, ooh, this sounds like a good place to go. And I'd seen movies that were filmed in Montana, and the whole visual experience was just beautiful. So I was like, okay, I need to go see this place. And so I did, and I decided I wanted to write some books about it. So I'm also a romance author, clean romance author, and I write under the pen name of Jenna Hendricks. And I have I have 2 different series right now that take place in Montana. So I wanted to go there to do some research and possibly even to move there. So what I did was I got a map out and I looked at the topography, and then I looked to see what the weather was like in various places, how big the cities were, how small they were. And I know this is going to sound strange, but I do like to shop. So I checked online for local department stores, at least my favorite ones. And then from there, I put forth this list of places that I wanted to go. So I went to Bozeman, Helena, which is the capital, Missoula. And then I have a friend who lives up in Kalispell, really close to Glacier National Park. Oh my gosh, if you ever get the chance to go to Glacier, so do it. Oh, I love that place. In fact, I'm going back next month, the middle of the month, to visit my friend again, and we're going to head over to Glacier for an afternoon. So yeah, even though I've already been there, driven the whole place and seen bears and everything, I still want to go back and do it again because it's just so beautiful.
Oh, that sounds incredible. That sounds fabulous. So what is something that surprised you about Montana when you actually went there then, after kind of doing all this research and checking it out online?
All the water. There's all these little lakes and streams and rivers. It just blew my mind. I mean, I knew over in the western part, there'd be a lot of water because it's so green and all the mountains and everything. There's always, rivers and springs and small lakes by there. But in the center, it's kind of like a little Riviera type of place. I went just outside of Helena, and I did glamping. I'd always wanted to try that, and they had a place that did glamping. So I went and did that. And at the glamping campground, they actually have a 9-hole golf course. And they used to have cows, and they had the Highland cows, or coos as they're called in Scotland. And sadly, they got rid of the last one right before I got there. The guy's getting ready to retire, so he still has this 2,000-pound pig that barely moves a muscle. I mean, I knew he was alive because he did move a little bit, but not much, let me tell you. But they had this giant lake there that had all this boating and all these campgrounds that were all around it, and these different places to put in with your boats. And I was just like, not what I expected at all. It was so nice. So even with COVID going on last summer, it was still beautiful. The people were so wonderful. No matter where I went, everybody was very nice and helpful when I was asking all sorts of questions. Even when I asked weird writer questions, they were still really cool about it.
That's awesome. So you mentioned Glacier National Park. Is there other places you would suggest a first timer who's never been to Montana and wants to experience the place? Where would you tell them to go?
Oh gosh. Well, down south, on the border with Wyoming is also Yosemite. And I'm going to head over there on this trip and go down into Wyoming myself. So while I've seen lots of pictures online, I haven't been there. So I would think that that would be a really good place to go as well. But also over the east side, if you want to see, a real posing landscape, over on the east side, it's what you would expect ranches to be like, where you've got these big old wide open plains and lots of grasses and just cattle everywhere. I mean, there's plenty of cattle in the west, in the west as well, and in the central part, but the east is where a lot of the cattle ranchers are at, or in the south. And so if you just do a little bit of driving around, like Bozeman, when I went there, I started to see the change in the landscape and in a lot more cowboys walking around. It was very obvious they were cowboys. It was so much fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. So there's some little local spots that no one really knows about, like some small towns that you came across, or little abandoned, I don't know. You have all these ideas about Montana from reading, I think. And
yeah, so there's this, I can't even remember what it's really called, but in my book, I call it Beacon Creek. And it's down south. It's kind of like a Four Corners area, really close to Bozeman, about a half hour from Bozeman. And there's a little creek that runs through it, and which is why I called my city Beacon Creek. So I didn't really want to name my town after a real place. Although in another book I did, and I named it after that town before I drove through it. And it is seriously small, gorgeous, cute, quaint, but it's more like a little dot on the map. And that one's called Frenchtown, but it's really cute and quaint. And so I set my Christmas series up there because according to the map, it looked like it would be a really great place, but I should have done it up in Kalispell, I think. But lesson learned, do more research if I'm not going to go to a place first. But it does, I did a lot of research, so I have, a lot of the feel of the town. It's just, in my book, Frenchtown is bigger than what it really is. That's all.
Okay. Oh, I don't have a, that's a
timer.
timer.
7 minutes?
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, I was about to ask a question.
Yeah, wait, we didn't even get to food or anything.
Oh, speaking of food, oh my goodness, I'm just like drooling thinking about the steaks there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
So,
seafood, like the trout that's caught locally.
Okay, trout.
Local fish. Oh yeah. Some of those places have the best local fish.
And they probably have the best produce because there's so much ranch and farmland, right? So all of the fresh produce is probably fantastic. So
huckleberries. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
so in my books, I actually have a few recipes that are inspired by my travels. So
so cool, Jennifer.
That is cool.
So cool. Yeah, so glad.
Now we got to pick up one of these books and then head out to these places. Oh, it's fabulous, Jennifer.
Yeah. Well, thank you, April and Cindy. I really appreciate it. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah. So thanks for sharing your story, Jennifer. We really enjoyed it, and we'll have to pick up a book. And now we want to go to Montana. Not that we didn't want to or go before, because it just sounds amazing. And I bet you it all comes to life in the books, Jennifer. So thanks for sharing your story and travel with us through real stories from real people. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Thank you.